Hello, welcome to another session of Learn with Veer Sagar. We have been talking in the last few sessions about how to increase profit. And we talked about increased top line, increasing mix, etc. Today I will talk about cost management as a means for improving profit. I am using the word cost management and not cost reduction. For me, cost reduction is a negative connotation. And when a company starts doing cost reduction, right, and when they do cost reduction, it means cutting down on travel, cutting down on entertainment, cutting down on newspapers, magazines, etc., then it's a bad sign for the organization. Although it looks good on paper, your bosses are very happy that you are taking active on cutting action and cutting down costs, but it's not good. And when this starts happening, the good people leave the organization because they start seeing the organization as going downhill. So for me, it's not cost reduction at all. I'm for cost management. And what is cost management? The first thing for cost management is quality. Quality of the job that you are doing. It's not just the product. Most people understand quality as the product. Yes, that's important. But quality of anything, the service, the activity you do, within the accounts and the output that you create. If you are in the support department, then the customer support that you give. If you are in the HR department, the HR policies that you create, the interaction with the people that you have. All of them should be right first time and every time. Reruns, repeats cost you a lot of money. In the product, it's seen, and so active action is taken to control that. But in services, it's not seen. And so not much action is taken to control that. But that is something that we must all control. That is one, quality. The second one is value analysis. Now, what do I mean by value analysis? When you take any product or any service, right, you have to see that am I getting value for what I'm spending? Let's take one standard thing, travel. When you travel and you're spending money, you see, are you getting value for the tour, for the travel? Is that necessary to go? If I'm not getting enough money, is it necessary to go? Could I do the same thing by any other cheaper means like telephone calls, a letter, or email in today's context? Right? So look at that. If that's not possible and a personal visit is called for, can I do more things on that trip? Right? Maybe meet more things from the same customer but for a different department, or different customers or different things happening in that town. So this is what you have to create value. So analyze the value that it gives. The other one is on a product. Take product and say, okay, analyze each component and say, what does this component do? How does this component contribute to the overall value of the product that the product gives? Can this be done by something else? If so, something else which is cheaper. If so, can I replace it without, and this is the important thing, without affecting quality or performance? When you replace something, it has to be something equivalent in terms of quality and performance. The most common things, and I'll give you two examples from my experience, and these are from Dunlop because Dunlop was a very large product company and sort of fitted it very nicely. Most of my examples are from Dunlop. And I'm giving from Dunlop because Dunlop was a very large product factory and my examples come nicely on a product. One was packing. Packing of tubes, right, and tires. Dunlop made automotive, truck, car and tubes. Today, of course, tubes is an obsolete thing in it, because most tires are tubeless, but when there was a tube is a round rubber thing with air inside. So these tubes were packed in a bag, cloth bag. We analyzed and said, okay, this is the cost of the tube and this is the cost of the bag. And what is the function of the bag? Having got that function of the bag analyzed, we says, can we do the same thing with something else? And ultimately, we came up with replacing them by reprocessed polythene. Dunlop used to use a lot of polythene in its production, not at the time, for covering of rubber. Hot rubber sheets that come out are covered with polythene. And then they were taken out, and these polythene sheets which came out are reprocessed to create packing material for the tubes. Similarly, the tires were packed in new polythene. We said, can we replace the new polythene by reprocessed polythene? All this would give you the same performance, end result for which this is meant, but at a much lower cost. Another product we made was adhesives. And the adhesives were packed in metal tubes. We analyzed that and we said, if we replace the metal tubes by plastic tubes, can we get the same function? And then we replaced metal tubes by plastic tubes. Not only brought the cost down of the entire product, it also cut down the cost of travel, of transport, because the metal polythene was lighter than metal. What are the ways of creating this cost value analysis? The first one is take a product and split it into components, subassemblies. Write out what is the function of each subassembly and what does that subassembly cost. Pick up the most expensive subassembly and say, if I need to replace this, with what will I replace? Now, if there is a value analysis team for this product, they will keep on giving ideas, brainstorming. And the rules of brainstorming are no blocking, no questions asked, and no saying, so that's not possible. Whatever is said, you rest record it till we run out of many more ideas. Then we pick up the cheapest of these ideas and see, can we implement this? If not, then why not? So you may get blockages, you may get problems. Then you say, okay, how can I overcome this problem? And sometimes you overcome by building on that idea, trying something else on the idea, or combining two ideas. So then we analyze, brainstorm, and then pick up the idea and then see, is it feasible? Will it do the same thing? Will it meet the same performance requirement as what we are replacing at a cheaper cost? If yes, then we can put it up for trial. If not, drop it if it doesn't meet any of the performance criteria and pick up the next idea. So value analysis is a tremendous technique for cutting down costs by replacing a component with the same value, which provides the same value, the same functionality, but at a lower cost. In the next couple of sessions, we will actually look at more difficult ideas, of that is to create models of a activity and then look by doing this modeling, how can we cut down the cost, or create the model with the aim to cut down the cost. With that, it's Veer Sagar saying thank you very much till we meet again. Bye.